sharing information that I think will be beneficial to you all as real estate investors, as entrepreneurs, and just kind of help you guys level up on just everything that you're doing. But it hit me when I was driving to work that transition. And so I was just looking at the transition that's going on right now with the leaves. We're going into fall, transitioning out of summer and going into the fall time frame, and it's just being able to take in all of the beauty, all of the sights, and it directly relates to where we are in business, that you're constantly in a form of transition. When you look at life, our life journey, we're always in transitioning. We're transitioning, as we grow older, that we're in a constant transition phase. And in business, it's no different, that you're constantly transitioning from one project to another. You're somewhere within the life cycle, whether it's an individual product, a house, a project, a rental property that you're rehabbing, but you're always transitioning from one aspect of time to another period. And so I think that's one of the things that as an entrepreneur, as a real estate investor, that you always got to know where you're at in the process. And then also know that you can't get too high, you can't get too low, because you're constantly in a transition, that, this too shall pass, where you are right now. And so I think that's one of the things that we have to realize, is that we're always in a period of transition that is constant. And we shouldn't get too down on ourselves, because right now in the period that we're going through in our journey may not be at the top. And it may not be where we expected ourselves to be at this point in our lives, at this point of our journey. But yet still, there's a lesson to be learned, and I'm a true believer, if something's not working for you, then it's working on you. And I think that's one of the big things that we always got to understand, that we're constantly transitioning through life. And life is short too. And I think that this transition, that you don't know when you're going to have to make that last transition and leave this earth. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of times we take for granted, just how much time we have available, how much time we have left, because we don't really know. And it behooves us that, to get serious about our dreams, and in this case, to get serious about our real estate investing, because we don't know if tomorrow's promised, next year's promised, 10 years is promised to us. And so we got to take action now, because there's never going to be a perfect time when all the stars are going to line. Interest rates are going to be super low. There's not going to be anybody buying real estate but just you. And they're going to line up all the deals for you to pick whichever one that you want. The bank's going to give you 100% financing. There's not going to be any issues with the property. All your tenants in your apartment building are going to be perfect. They're all going to pay early. They're not going to damage your property. None of that exists. That's an imaginary perfect world. It doesn't exist. And so we have to still be able to navigate through reality and still be able to move forward with everything that we need to accomplish, whatever our goal is when it comes to real estate investing. That we need to know that we're transitioning, that right now the economy is transitioning. Whereas that we transition from a low interest rate environment, now we're in a high inflation and we're in a high interest rate environment right now. And so mortgages are getting harder to come by, to qualify for. And so right now it's a period of transition from where we've been the last few years compared to where we are right now. As real estate investors, we have to change and grow. And that's what this community is all about, is fostering that growth that we need to be able to succeed at accomplishing our real estate goals at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. And if you're serious about it, then you'll be able to take action. You'll align yourself with the right people. You'll get around the right circle of people that are moving forward and taking action on the things that you consider to be goals or actions that you need to take to be successful. Whereas that now you can align yourself in that same manner. And so I think that's one of the things that we need to look at with being just in a constant transition, and everything's constantly changing, especially now with technology, that so much can change so fast that you really have to stay on top of everything that's happening. You always have to be remaining flexible in your approach, having multiple exit strategies. I was just talking with my property manager in Panama City that manages most of our single family assets that we have there, and she told me that right now that internally they had zero 0 rentals on the market last month within her company that she manages, and now they have 17 assets right now, 17 rental properties that are on the market looking for tenants. And then before, I forgot the number or what she said exactly, but it's the amount of rentals that were on the market 2-3 months ago to where we are now, that it's like 3x what was available on the market for rentals. And so that's one of the things right now, something that would have rented for $2,000 now is still sitting for 60 days, and we're having to drop the rent ask price to $1,700. And so that's one of our assets that we just recently dropped. We dropped a couple weeks ago, $50. No, we dropped it from $2,000 to $1,900. Then I followed up with her on the end of last week to get a update on where the market is, because we hadn't got a tenant. And from the process and understanding, that's why you got to align with right people, because she knows she has the pulse of the market. She's talking to a lot of different people. She's seeing what's going on. And so she was able to give me, based off the numbers and the data and the number of applicants filling out applications for tenants, that, hey, we need to drop our price by $200 just based off the data that we're seeing with the market. And if you're just a ordinary investor and you're not paying attention to the numbers, the data on the market, you don't know what you should do. You're moving late. You may wait till the end of November to try to get a tenant in place to make the changes and miss the window. And so I think that's one of the things that you need to do, is just aligning with the right people, aligning with those that understand, that have the lay of the land, and that can help you make decisions faster and give you the leg up where you can be successful. If you can do that, then you're going to be good to go 100% of the time, and you're going to be able to make decisions. You're going to be able to manage the transition as things continuously change, because in this environment, it's dynamic, that you got to be moving. And if you're not moving and being able to make decisions quickly and understanding the ramifications with the pros and cons of making a decision and moving out, then your business is going to suffer, your portfolio is going to suffer. So wanted to share some of those insights with you all. And also the boot camp coming up November 14th, that whole week, 5 days of 5 days of real estate investing training, from just helping you guys kind of build out your strategy going into the new year, helping you get the insight and kind of think through where you need to be from the investor mindset, how to find deals, where you should be looking at for your deals, how to finance the deals, and then also just how to go through the whole remodeling phase of it. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. So it's going to be jam-packed 5 days. Originally it was going to be 3, but I couldn't squeeze everything in to only 3 days, so we pushed it out 5 days. I'm super excited. For those that want to do the VIP experience, you get an hour each day ahead of general admission, where you can ask all your questions, any questions. An hour of me, just Q&A, which is, you get to pick my brain. I can help you kind of level up, and I think I'm gonna bring in 1 or 2 of my guys in my network, have them sit inside settle too, where we can have a mini mastermind, and where it's that you all can get more perspectives, because I'm a big proponent of having multiple perspectives. That's all a mastermind is, just multiple people getting their brains together to solve problems. So yeah, I'll have some guests that'll come on and kind of have a panel, have 2 or 3 of us that can answer questions where it's just not me. And but that'll give you guys even more insight to kind of hear some different perspectives. What's up, Tiffany? Yep, Tiffany crushing in the Airbnb space. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get you on there one night, Tiffany, as a guest appearance for the VIP Q&A next on week of November 14th. Figure out a good day. But that's what it's all about. Just being able to help you guys that are serious, guys and gals that are serious, intentional, that we're gonna meet you wherever you are right now and help you leverage your time, your money, whatever you have to bring to the table. We're going to help you leverage that to build your strategy to get you going into the new year with making big changes, doing big deals, and making and taking big strides to get to where you want to be at. And that's what it's all about. So super excited about that. I'm about to slide in here and pick up Chipotle for dinner. But yeah, just wanted to jump on the live and just share with you all just the period of transition. We're in constant transition. As real estate investors, the market's transitioning right now, and we don't know where we're going to be a year from now. but there's always going to still be deals to be had. It's going to be a great time to buy real estate, and you just got to have the knowledge and the information to make those decisions. And so that's the thing, just when you're in constant transition in life, and making sure that as you're transitioning, you're staying in balance, you're not becoming off balance, and that way you can be able to manage, and you can lead yourself and lead others through the process, and still remain at a high energy level. Because I think a lot of people, I hear people talking like, oh, summer's going, I don't like this season, and now they change their emotional cadence and their emotional presentation that they give the world based off the change and the transition and that's happening in the seasons that you can't control. It's like, okay, if I can't control it, why am I gonna get mad? Why am I gonna change my emotion? Why am I gonna get down because it's cloudy, it's cold, and you knew it was gonna happen? So why are you getting emotional and mad about the transition that's happening? And so I think that's the other piece with us as real estate investors, that we're constantly transitioning through projects, through the life cycle of an asset, whether you're buying it through the project on the front end, going through and managing it with residents in place, that you're constantly transitioning, going through the real estate investor journey. And so I think just embracing that transition and never getting too high, never getting too low, where you can focus in and know that this too shall pass. Every day is going to be different. That's why you can focus. You never get too down on yourself. You never get too high up on yourself, and you'll be good to go. And just kind of focus in on that as you're constantly going through transition. Transition is not happening. It's not about to change. It's not about to go anywhere. So I think that's the biggest thing that we all got to take heed to, and understand that as real estate investors, that we got to be flexible in our approach, and we got to be able to make decisions and know that things are changing. The market 6 months ago was totally different. It's transitioned from low interest rates to high interest rates. Inflation's come down a little bit, but it's still here. And real estate is still a great hedge to inflation, but you just got to get more creative with how you're going to buy it right now. And you got to get the deals cheaper. You got to buy at a lower price. And if you can do that, and you know how to navigate this space, then you're going to be successful. What's going on, Andre? What's going on, Jerez? Tapping in. Yeah, just talking about the period of transition with us as real estate investors, and just in life in general. Because what all peaked this for me was just driving into work and just seeing the leaves and the change of colors and just that transitioning. And it's like, okay, how does this relate to real estate? And it's just, we're in constant transition. Markets, projects, long-term assets that we're holding, the deals, all of that is constantly in flux and transition. And so the better we can manage our reaction to those transitions, to those changes that's happening in life, the better off we're going to be long-term with being able to sustain and be in here for the long haul. And was it run the race and not become weary, as the Bible says. So that's it today. I'm definitely gonna be jumping live. Hey, you guys, tap into the real estate boot camp. It's coming up the week of November 14th. 5 days of training with myself. Definitely consider the VIP experience, where you get an hour of live Q&A with myself. I'm gonna bring some people within my network. A couple of my students, they're gonna come in, and then we're gonna have a mastermind essentially before each general admission session, where you can bring any questions that you have about real estate, your journey specific. We're gonna have homework each night as you're going through and taking action. If you got questions about what happened the day before, you can ask those and just go through. And this is it's gonna be the goal is for this to be life changing, to kind of help you guys get where you need to be with real estate investing, and not try to go through this journey alone, not trying to figure it out by yourself. Just watching YouTube videos, trial and error, wasting money on certain stuff that's not gonna work, or bring it in with coming together to get a strategy where you could consistently show up and do deals and constantly make progress. So that's what it's all about.